Welcome in, everybody. Ty Bartell in with another Coach's Corner. This time we go over to the mountains of Southern Ohio, right on that West Virginia border with the Beaver Local Beavers, as I am joined with Coach Mike Agnew of the Beaver Local baseball team. Coach, how we doing today?
Great. Thanks a lot.
As weather not really looking too promising, but hey, baseball season's around the corner, and when we're from Ohio, we learn how to deal with this. First and foremost, Coach, what we like to always do with all of our area coaches, we always like to start off with a sort of meet the team segment. So I want you to give a shout out to all those returning players you got coming back this year, and some of the new faces we're going to be seeing in Beaver Local baseball as well.
Okay. We have 6 seniors this year. All of them are going to play vital roles for the team. We have Dalton Curran, who's our starting third baseman and pitcher. We expect big things from him this year. Ethan Agnew, center fielder, pitcher, a little bit of shortstop. Dorian Jackson, catcher, shortstop. Basically can play anywhere in the infield, played first base and second base sometimes last year for us too when we needed it. Pitcher. We also have Logan Blissenbaugh in the outfield. And we're fortunate to have Avery Wiggin come back to us. He was here for 2 years and transferred back this year. Left-handed pitcher, left fielder, first baseman. And we have Micah Sturm, pitcher and first baseman. So those are our 6 seniors. We also have Micah Jones returning varsity. He's a catcher, pitcher, can play anywhere in the infield for us. He's only a sophomore this year. We also have Dylan Ferguson, starting left fielder from last year, coming back. He can play anywhere in the outfield. We have Michael McKenzie, second baseman. We have Christian Lance, also a sophomore. Came in and gave us some crucial innings for varsity last year as a freshman. We expect big things from him on the mound and hopefully in the batting order too, working on some different positions for him. And then we have Wyatt Johnson, another sophomore that gave us some innings last year, can play infield and pitch. And we have incoming freshman Hunter Warwick, who we expect special things from throughout these next 4 years. Pitching, infield. We even tried him as a backup catcher for now, and he's adjusting to that, but he'll play anywhere outfield. So we have a solid nucleus of seniors sprinkled in with some sophomores, juniors, and a freshman. So, and we have a few other guys that we're working on, get them up to that varsity level. So,
Coach, what's one of the biggest things from last year's team and the returners that you have coming back this year? What was some of the biggest things you wanted to improve on with the team overall that you're looking to come back a little bit stronger in this season?
Probably 2 crucial items is our pitching. We have to get deeper in games, save our pitching, because sometimes you got 4 or 5, games in a week. So we need to throw more strikes. Trust our defense. We have a great defense. I mean, so many diving catches in our outfield. Our outfield is, I believe, one of the best, if not the best in the area. Our infield is solid, and we have 2 great catchers. So if we just throw strikes and trust our defense, we're going to be way better off. Like, cut down on the walks, make them put the ball in play. And then the other thing is, batting, same thing. Put the ball in play, make their defense make plays. You can't do anything if you're striking out. So we're focused on putting the ball in play.
Going into this season too, I think there's no question that the Buckeye always brings some tough baseball to it too. I mean, and just the conferences you play in. I mean, they're going to provide that tough that conference play for you. Talk to me a little bit about what the conferences are going to be like this season and what it's going to kind of take for you guys to come out on top.
Well, the Buckeye 8, and we're in the north with Indian Creek, Edison, Harrison, East Liverpool. And it's always a battle. All those 4 teams, both games we play them every year is a battle. Fortunate or unfortunately, you got to be ready the first game of the season because the Buckeye starts right off the bat. In the first 3 weeks, you get all your conference games in. So back-to-back games on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, Monday. They're not only great teams, they're well coached. I mean, we have the Mike Conference, I call it. We have Mike Cottis at Indian Creek, Mike Colopy at Edison, Mike Valesco at Harrison, and myself. And then we have Brian May at East Liverpool, the odd man out there. But not only are they great coaches, but they're great people. I've learned so much from them over the years, and I have great respect for all of them.
Having a chance to talk with Brian May too. I mean, he said it, I think, best too, is just the pitching and the competition that you're going to get in this conference is one that prepares you so well for the tournament time that you don't realize, and you kind of take it for granted, knowing that the iron sharpens iron thing, that when you get to that tournament time, you've seen some pretty good pitching. Pairing that too, what are some non-conference games? I know the conference allows for a lot of games to be scheduled on your schedule, but there's a little bit of room for non-conference. What are some games you're kind of excited to sneak in there for Beaver Local this season?
Well, we like to play some local teams. We always play Wellsville. Coach Guerin does a great job there. A lot of respect to him. We always play East Palestine, Lisbon, Crestview. We like to, we don't want to travel too far all the time, and those are good competition as well. Carrollton, Coach Connolly does a great job. We travel down there. Minerva, Struthers, Oak Glen. We added a couple teams. We got Steubenville Catholic Central back with Coach Young down there. He's a good guy, good coach. So good competition all around. And then the big thing is we're actually traveling to Myrtle Beach to play 4 games this year. So we're going to get some great competition down there. First time in school history that we've been able to do that. So
go a little bit more in depth with that too. How excited are you for this? And do you kind of see this as being a bonding experience that you can use for this team? And is it coming, I would assume, spring break, so later towards the season? And do you feel like this is something you can use towards your advantage towards end of season?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be the week before Easter, so we leave on April 10th for a week, and it's going to be a fantastic experience. I mean, we raised so much money, and we thank the community and the parents and the boosters for everything they did to help make this happen, and for our school to let us do this. We didn't know if it'd ever be possible. Of course, Ohio changed the rules so we could do this and miss, a few days of school, because we don't have that full week of spring break here. And I think it's going to be fantastic. Obviously, the kids are looking forward to it, but like I just told them today after practice, we have a lot of games before that to focus on first, and then we'll get to that, and then we'll have fun. But we're going down there to win games too, not just to have fun. So I think it's definitely going to be a bonding experience, and it's going to help us for the second half of the year tremendously.
Getting that kind of support to be able to do something like that requires a community to be fully backing you too. And that starts and ends with the culture, because without a good culture, kids aren't buying in and community parents aren't buying in. So talk to me a little bit about that Beaver Local culture. I mean, we've obviously seen it too. We're familiar with it here on the network. But for those who are unfamiliar with it, what is it like, and what does it mean to be a Beaver there? And what is it like to be coached under Mike Agnew? And what are some things you want these kids to take with them beyond the sport of baseball after they're done being coached by you?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of pride coaching this team. I graduated from here, played baseball here, grew up on the fields where they're no longer here because we built a brand new, beautiful school where the fields are at. So that was the only bad thing. We lost, our home summer baseball, but kids have so many other places, in Youngstown and different areas to play. So they still get their summer baseball, but it's a pride thing. Obviously Beaver Local is known for wrestling and among other great sports, and volleyball, and we've had some good basketball seasons the last few years, and golf. And so we're trying to put, baseball on the map, and we've been working at it, and we're getting better and better at it, and we're getting noticed a little bit. And the community, like when you go out to games and you see teachers that you work with every day coming out and supporting the students, it's a lot of pride. And I think the kids recognize that, and they appreciate that.
It seems like everyone that comes from Beaver Local too has a lot of pride for this school too. So I gotta figure too, those texts that you have between you and Brian May have a little bit more animosity between them, just because of where you both came from. Coach, kind of that same question. I want to kind of piggyback off of that and kind of go into this one too. Because of your experience on both ends, being a player and a coach now for the Beavers, and having that experience on both ends, what would Coach Mike Agnew tell player Mike Agnew if he had the chance now? Kind of coach yourself.
Well, like my dad told me, because he was, one of my coaches growing up, and he was very hard on me, but he knew the game, and I watched him play the game. And basically what he said is baseball is the hardest game to play. We always feel that way because every pitch, the game changes. You have to be ready. If you're ready and prepared for every pitch on defense or in batting, then you're going to do well. If you're not paying attention for a split second and something changes, then that's what's going to give you trouble. So be prepared. That's the motto, and you'll be fine.
And Coach, obviously there has to be that love for it too. And I mean, it makes it easier too, being an alum from a school too, but there's also something deeper too for some of these coaches and what brings them back year in and year out. So what is it that kind of fuels Coach Agnew to keep coming back and coaching the Beavers year in and year out and putting on those coaching boots every year?
Well, it's just the love for the game. I mean, that's plain and simple. I don't do it for the money. I mean, I think everybody knows, like, high school baseball coaches, there's not the money. Nobody does it for that. It's for the love of the game. I love the kids. I love to watch them get better. I love when you teach them something and they say, "Thank you, coach," and then they make adjustments. It's something special that I really appreciate, and I just love everything about it.
Getting those relationships and building those relationships, obviously very important, Coach, but we all know you can't do it alone. And we know coaches get all the spotlight, they get the interviews, they get the limelight, but the assistants, and there's some other big names in a lot of programs too that don't get the recognition maybe they deserve. So I want to give you that opportunity to shout out your assistants and some other big names in the Beaver Local baseball program that you feel deserve to be recognized.
Absolutely. My right-hand man is Coach Bobby Flint. He's been with me since day one for 8 years. I rely on him for everything that I can't do, whether it's, on the practice field or getting the kids ready when I got to be late for a practice because of a meeting or whatever. He's always there, and I can always count on him. We also have Coach Plum in his second year full-time. He was actually a player for me my first year on the job, and he's a great young coach and knows a lot about baseball. And we have a new coach this year, Coach Noah Land, coming from Boardman. He's really been working with the pitchers the most, but, overall great coach, and the kids seem to really respect him and caught on to him really quick. Then I'll also give a shout out to Jason Wolski. He's our scorekeeper and also our dugout club booster president. He gets me anything that I possibly can get, along with our AD, Bob Beam, new to Beaver Local this year. He's been fantastic.
Coach, I appreciate you giving us the time to preview this team. And final question, I guess, for you is just to give a call out and a shout out to the Beaver Local community. If anyone's living under a rock and doesn't know when the first game is, weather providing, obviously, with Ohio, because we're expecting cancellations. When is your first game? Shout it out, and maybe shout out your next game or next series, rather, if for those fans that want to catch Beaver Local baseball.
Okay, our first varsity game is Monday, March 28th at Indian Creek, and then we come back with our first home game against Indian Creek on Wednesday the 30th. So it's going to be cold, but we're going to be ready to play and bundle up and come out and watch some good baseball.
Bundle up indeed, and it should be some good baseball indeed on Monday and Wednesday. If you can't make it to Monday, get out there Wednesday too and support Beavers versus Indian Creek. That's going to be a great one. Coach Agnew, I thank you so much for your time and giving us this preview of Beaver Local baseball. And with any luck, we'll be seeing you and talking to you again real soon.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys at YSN. You do a fantastic job.
Thank you, Coach.
Take care.